Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka B.Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend. Happy Monday, y'all. What work did KHLOE Kardashian get done? AZEALIA Banks is the reigning champ on Twitter, and this Michael Costello and Chrissy Teigen fight gets juicy and juicier. We're talking about that and a lot more. You know what to do. Grab your tea, grab your beverage. Let's go! Hey beauty besties, happy Monday. How are you doing out there, sugar? Did you have a good weekend? What did you do for the weekend? And what did you do for Juneteenth? Did you celebrate it? Did you observe it? Did you eat good? Did you reflect on it? What was your Juneteenth like? I don't know if you guys got a chance to see, but I went live on the MAC Cosmetics Global handle on Saturday with a few work friends, and we talked about what Juneteenth meant to us and gave a little bit of historical context as well behind Juneteenth and had a really good conversation. So that was really one of the ways I celebrated and honored Juneteenth on Saturday. Super grateful for the opportunity. And then I went out Saturday evening to Fort Lauderdale for Pride and the Pride Parade and all that other great stuff. And the parade got canceled because somebody got hit by a car and it was just a lot of drama. But all the pedestrians, we were fine. It was unfortunate that someone in the parade, and it was crazy because the person that got hit by the car, they were in the parade. So the person driving the car was in the parade, and he hit two people. So they were all part of the gay men's chorus in Fort Lauderdale. And so I don't know. I feel like it was an accident. I hope it was an accident. But that totally canceled the parade. But the festivities were nice. Being out there with my friends, just hanging out. Like the world has started to reopen and we're going back to some form of normalcy. So it felt good to be back in these streets, y'all. Anyways, speaking of Juneteenth, let's jump right in. Y'all know Candace Owens. Lord, yes, I know. Every time I say her name, I feel like it puts a weight on my chest and I gotta exhale. Well, child, Candace Owens, problematic Candace Owens, she said on her Twitter that Juneteenth is so lame and that the Democrats need to stop trying to repackage segregation, and I'm paraphrasing here, and that she will still be observing July 4th because she's an American. Okay. Now, here's my thing. At this point, I feel like she does this intentionally. She does this intentionally for her platform. She does this intentionally to stay relevant. She does this intentionally for us to still talk about her like we're doing right now. She does this intentionally to be viral. She does this intentionally for the conservatives, for them to feel like they got a black person on their side. She cannot. And I hope this deep down inside of my black core and essence, she cannot believe what she truly says. She cannot feel this so far removed from her black ancestors, her black race, and the plain history, documented history of the black experience in America for her to say these things. I legit hope that behind closed doors, when she has to kick off her shoes and relax her feet, and she has to unwind and she has to sit here in her thoughts, or when her mother or grandmother or aunt or uncle or black cousin calls her at the end of the day, she is literally able to peel off her work and say, y'all know I didn't mean that. Y'all know I had to say this in order to get this check. Y'all know I had to say this in order to stay relevant. Y'all know I had to say this to pay y'all house bill. Y'all know I had to say that to pay y'all light bill. Y'all know I had to say that to send somebody's kid to college. I feel like I hope, because the fact that sis said this is so lame and that the Democrats need to quit repackaging segregation, Candace, sis, sit down, okay? But you know what made that so good? You know what made that so well within my soul? Is that rapper AZEALIA Banks said, I had time today. She put down her cat soup and picked up her Twitter fingers, put on her lyricist hat, and wrote us a story that can be as entertaining as the best bedtime stories of them all. And I'm going to read it to you. Let me take a sip first. Y'all know I still got the sinus thing happening. According to this logic, on July 4th, 1776, you would still be enslaved, most likely on the verge of starvation due to all the America's food supply having been prioritized for the war, while you hand sew American flags and struggle to wet nurse some depressed 24-year-old white widow, sickly child until your nipples are chapped and dry, whereafter you would be whipped by her 80-year-old uncle for your own malnourishment and inability to produce milk, then sent to toil over a wood-burning stove while forced to make a peasantly meal of biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy. You'll be watched closely by her irate, sunburned, and whiskey-soaked 80-year-old uncle to be sure you did not sneak a single biscuit or fingerful of roux for yourself. After you've watched everyone eat, you will be sent to do the cleaning up. Your last task will be brushing the stressed and balding white widow's hair to prepare her for her sleeping bonnet, a deep rest in her comfortable canopy bed. Next, your final descent down the stairs and out of the back door where you proudly sleep on a bed bug infested pile of hay in a 6x4 cabin you share with 4 other slaves. Happy Independence Day at Real Candace Owens. Azalea also goes on to say, because I told y'all sis had time. At Real Candace Owens, the widow would awake from her sleep to relieve herself at 4 a.m. to find a brush full of hair and let out a loud scream. She insists you are a bad end, luck making her bald, and orders you to be hung from a tree immediately. With the help of another strong black male slave, you're hung with the strap of a horse saddle off of an oak tree 1 acre away from the main house as a warning to any other slaves who were brave enough to F around. Tread lightly, sis. Baby, mic drop. Azalea Banks said, do not play with Black America culture with your horrible fodder, Candace Owens. And that's why I say, I hope deep down in my soul that Candace can't believe this ish. But what makes it bad is that she has the platform to still communicate it, whether she believes it or not. But Azalea Banks, you did what needed to be done. And you activated your black girl magic, aside from all the other craziness you got going on, sis. Thank you for representing and gathering the real Candace Owens. 10s across the boards. 10s, 10s, 10s. But this clapback was a really good clapback. We haven't seen a good clapback like this in a while. She served shade with a side of lemonade. Thank you, Azalea. Let's move on. Tessica Brown, y'all remember her? Miss Gorilla Glue Girl? Well, Mama has come out with a whole new line of hair care products, hair drops, holding spray, edge control, all of it. And she is saying you too can have your hair laid down without the Gorilla Glue side effects. Now, she's also the same woman who thought it was logical to physically use Gorilla Glue in her hair as a temporary solution for holding, when we all know nothing about Gorilla Glue is temporary. Well, yes, if y'all want to take on Miss Tessica's hair care, y'all have the option to do so now, because you know her logic is so brilliant. But she is capitalizing on this 15 minutes of fame. And she has said, she did an interview with TMZ. She said that she made $25,000 the first day that her products went on sale. She's going to use the money to buy a home for her and all her kids. She says she has lots of kids. Now, she says she wants to be the Kylie Jenner of hair care. Okay, aspirations. Everybody should have some. However, the difference I see between Tessica and Kylie are a couple things. One, Tessica, you don't have a momager that's ferocious enough to grab you a bag the way she is for all of her kids. Second of all, says Kylie has this huge platform because her sister had a whole sex tape. I mean, it is what it is. So at the end of the day, aspire to be the best you while you go ahead and peddle your hair care products for the kids. But if Kylie Jenner is going to be who you model your business after, then the next stop should be having a kid by a rapper. Add that to your list. All right, let's move on. Speaking of the Kardashians, so Andy is doing the reunion for them. Have you guys watched the Keeping Up with the Kardashian finale reunion? Well, baby, there's so many clips trending online, and I'm just going to say I didn't fully watch it. I'm not a huge Kardashian fan, but I just can't not talk about this one clip here. Khloe said that she's only had one surgery, which was her nose. Yeah, so about that, what made that so entertaining was the fact that both sisters, Kendall and Kylie, their looks said, sis, you're lying, but we're going to sit here and pretend like you're not lying and not say anything. Look at this.
This is something that I always get, and it's just not true.
Well, for me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she's had her 3rd face transplant, but I've had one nose job, Dr. Raj Kanodia, And everyone gets so upset, like, why don't I talk about it? No one's ever asked me. You're the first person in an interview that's ever asked me about my nose. I've done, sure, injections, not really Botox. I've responded horribly to Botox.
It's the side eye for me. In that moment, they physically gave us the look of, tell me you're lying without telling me you're lying. Right. So, y'all know, I'm all about personal enhancement. But knowing what we know what KHLOE used to look like and what KHLOE looks like now, a nose job, diet and exercise does not result in somebody looking like this. What are your thoughts? Is she lying? Let's move on. The drama between Chrissy Teigen and Michael Costello gets hotter and hotter, and honestly, it feels like it's turning into a whole high school catfight. So apparently, Chrissy Teigen is now calling Michael Costello out, saying that the DMs that he is saying that she sent him are fabricated and he made them up and she never sent those to him, and she's calling him a liar. Michael Costello's team has clapped back, saying he's not a liar, and it's classic bullying technique for you to try to discredit the victim here, Michael Costello being the victim. And with everything that's happening, now that she's trying to discredit, she is not evolved and she's still bullying, just in a different way. Michael Costello's team also went on to say is they have unpublished and unreleased emails and additional documentation proving that Chrissy literally tried to go out of her way to get Michael Costello blacklisted, which affected him personally, emotionally, and financially. At this point, I need Iyanla Vanzant to step in. I need her to do a whole mediation counseling. Can we pull Auntie Iyanla out of retirement for this one? Because I would like to see how she's about to handle Chrissy and Michael. Because again, this is now just petty Betty. And we're going to still sip the tea for that. But in the meantime, let's move on. Lord, Victoria's Secret has announced that they're trying to clean up their secrets, child. Victoria's Secret has been under a lot of pressure since about 2018. A lot of pressure, but they got slightly canceled because there was a whole lot of talk and drama over their lack of representation for plus-size model and transgendered models. And so much so that, back in 2018, their former chief marketing officer, Ed Rozak, who, by the way, is a cisgender white heterosexual man, did an interview with Vogue magazine. And in the interview with Vogue, he mentioned how the Victoria's Secret fashion show is all about fantasy and that transgendered women are not a part of that fantasy. And also in the past that they tried to incorporate plus size models, but people didn't want it. And so therefore, the fantasy of the angels, the fantasy of the Victoria's Secret runway show was basically just that, a fantasy. Well, that was back in 2018. And shortly after, the pressure for him to step down based on his toxic statements got so bad that he eventually did step down. And after he stepped down, it was later revealed that he and Wexner, who was another Victoria's Secret executive, had a very toxic work environment filled with harassment, misogyny, and everything else. You don't say. The comment alone was all the way problematic. Well, baby, Victoria's Secret is saying it's a new dawn and a new day. They've gotten rid of their angels, and they've hired some very well-known, very high-profile celebrities to be the new faces of Victoria's Secret, such as Priyanka Chopra, Megan Rapinoe, and more. So if Eden Crow was a real person, it would be Victoria's Secret in this moment, trying to stay relevant and try to reclaim their market share. And a side note, how many of y'all out there are still wearing Victoria's Secret anyways? Right. And on that note, guys, I got to go. You know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video if you like, and leave me a comment. Most importantly, check the notifications and make sure they're turned on. Who loves you? I do. See you on Wednesday. Bye.